Welcome to Wrestling is Hard, where every side is a dark side of the ring. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at hard4wrestling. Email us questions and complaints at wrestlingisHard@gmail.com. I'm Jim. Brandon, welcome back from vacation. I heard you had a little adventure. How'd it go?
I did. It was a good time, man. I was down in the Outer Banks this year. It's like the fourth year in a row Sydney's grandmother has paid for this house for us, and every year it's like they kick it up a notch. And this year we went all the way to the 4x4 beach with no paved roads. So you got to have if it's 4x4 beach, you have to have a 4x4 vehicle to get on there, and you're driving like 30 minutes on sand. So it was a ton of fun. There's wild horses. That was cool. But I was driving Sydney, her sister, and the little dog all down, and we're getting texts. We were like the last group down because we're stopping for the dog and stuff. And I'm getting texts like, oh, Dad got stuck. John got stuck. I'm like, oh, shit. We get on the beach. I'm listening to reggae music, just trying to stay calm, stay in the tracks. I'm like, oh, this is easy. I can't believe my girlfriend's dad got stuck. Got to be a real idiot to do this. And the GPS kicks us up like into the dunes. I don't know where this place is at. I assume you get onto the sand beach, and it's just like, how many houses could there fucking be? We get kicked up into the dunes, and it's like 20 more minutes of just like you need literally like an ATV to get over. So immediately get stuck. 2 minutes in, get stuck. The girls are freaking out. I'm trying to remember what I was told to like ease up on the gas, just crawl forward. I end up just burying myself in a nice hole. I'm like under the car on all. Meanwhile, I've been in the car for over 9 hours at this point. I'm on all fours trying to scoop sand from under the chassis of this thing. I only tell you all this because my favorite part, and I was laughing about this all week. Some lady comes out of this house like 75 feet away from us and just starts yelling off her balcony. And as I see, there's this pink cord under my tire, and I'm like, I don't know shit about cars. I'm like, did I rip this cord? Is this a part of the car? Did I rip something out when I'm spinning these tires? This lady comes out. She's like, you just took out our internet. You ripped our internet cable out of our house. And I see this thing's totally wrapped up under my car. And I'm like, oh, fuck. It smells like burnt plastic. So sorry to whoever that was. Probably the day they got down there on vacation, I shredded their internet connection for the week. So they were truly off the grid. But
so
that was probably
they wanted to watch Vince on SmackDown, and you ruined it.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody saw Raw last
So
week.
is there like a path you're supposed to take, and you guys weren't supposed to be on this dune area, or what?
Yeah, exactly. So what you're supposed to do is basically just stay on the beach by the water, right, and then just hook left when you have to. But the GPS was like, it'll be faster if you cut through these other roads. They're not roads. It's just piles of sand. So got pretty fucked there. And I was kind of worried because I'm driving my girlfriend's mom's car, this SUV, and we're getting there right at high tide. It's like high tide to the minute. And so the water is coming up to the wheels. And I'm thinking, if this GPS is telling me to go left, maybe if I go straight, I'm just going to drive into the ocean. Like, that's a bigger problem for me to just be like, sorry, Mrs. blah, blah, blah. Your car is floating in the Atlantic with all of our stuff in it. I got washed away when I was trying to take a shortcut on the fucking beach. So I'm like, whatever, I'll just cut through the dunes. But thankfully, some like 19-year-old tattooed up kid came through trying to get the other way on this dune with the Jeep, and he like had a fucking winch on it, like basically a tow truck. Pulled me out. We got there, but it was like a eventful time to get there. Once I got there, it was pretty chill. Sat in the sun. Drank, played with the dog, smooth week. Didn't really think about wrestling at all until I got some texts about Vince, which we'll get to in a little bit. But relaxing once we got there. But Jesus Christ, was that a pain in the fucking ass.
See, I really enjoy these roughing it kind of vacations. We used to do one once a year for a couple of years. A bunch of friends of ours would go down to Virginia on the Chesapeake Bay. Now, it wasn't, you drove to the house. There was roads to the house. But it was completely private beach, good quarter of a mile to a half a mile to walk to the water on the Chesapeake. So it was pretty wild, you know what I mean? Like, you pick your own fucking mussels, you go crabbing, big bonfire late at night, stingrays and sharks in the water. Like, it was fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I loved that vacation. I was also one of the only people that would go down there that actually knew how to light a fire and stuff like that. So that was like, it's always weird that I'm the city guy, like growing up in the city my entire life, and I'm the only one that knows how to do anything outside. With a lot of friends of mine.
Yeah, it's a good point.
The weirdest fucking thing.
I was thinking about that too, actually. I think what that is that part of it. Now, I didn't grow up in the city, but I've been down here for over a decade at this point. I think what probably growing up in the city or being there long enough gives you is that you just learn how to figure shit out. You've seen enough bullshit that you're just like, if people do this stuff, I can do it. And then you at least get that attitude, whereas other people that don't try new things are just like, oh, I never did that before.
Right.
Must
Mom's
be hard
not here to help me out. You'd have to build a fire, but the whole day, you want to build a big fire, you're on a beach. The whole day is walking up and down the beach, finding wood for this fire.
Right.
We got to drag it all the way down the wood. I'm like, we have a fucking boat. So what we would do is, you would just friggin' use the boat like a ferry and bring it with you. You'd walk with the wood, you'd stick it on the boat and fill up the boat and then pull it back to the spot you wanted to fire. These people were walking up and down the beach.
Dude, that sounds
every
awesome.
10 feet and dragging wood. I was like, no, that's not the way to do it. I'll show you how to do it. And they just put the water out there and like, come on,
project manager.
It was fun.
That sounds fun. Yeah. That's like, I went up to the mountains a couple months ago, but just chopping wood, like just doing stuff like that, that you have to do some physical labor to like make something happen. You immediately forget about everything else. I got to find a way to do more shit like that.
You're zoned.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus, you eat some edibles, maybe. You know what I mean? I remember last time I was camping, ate a couple cookies. We were chopping wood. Now I'm looking at my buddy, and my buddy's got all these little pieces of wood, and he keeps chopping them smaller and smaller. And I'm just sitting there zoned out watching him, and he just goes and looks at me and goes, dude, what the fuck am I doing? I was like, I don't know, man, but it's mesmerizing. We just started laughing our asses off because he was cutting these pieces of wood smaller and smaller. And I was just like, whatever, man. I'm just going to watch you do it. It's fun. I should
get in the zone. Yeah.
Yeah. We do the family vacation, Ocean City, New Jersey. And it's fun. You hang out with the kids, you drink a bunch, you go out for dinner, hang out on the beach mostly, but it's very urban.
Yeah.
You can't grill because it's a condo. You know what I mean?
Right.
Kids are screaming, fighting. If it rains, it's like you're stuck in the house. Kind of miss that.
You need somebody you almost need somebody to tell you like, here's a spot. This spot works. It's good. No one will fuck with you. Like I'm even curious about that spot in Virginia because so often you go on vacation, you get there and there's somebody 6 feet away. Yeah, I remember I did like a camping trip at the state parks in PA and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be gorgeous. We're gonna be in the woods. You get there and there's a family of 18, 6 feet away. And you're just like, this is.
Yeah, you go up to.
It's not as romantic as I thought it was gonna be.
We went to Ricketts Glen and it was up in Pennsylvania and it's pretty much a campground.
That's exactly where I went. Yeah.
Like 5 a.m. There's people walking around in flip flops.
Somebody's running a generator so they can get their sleep apnea mask in their tent or something. You're just like, that's another thing.
It's all fucking grandmas and grandpas. There's one woman's rolling around on her fucking Segway. We're just like, what the fuck kind of camping is this shit?
Bring your Segway to the state park. Yeah, it's like everything is so fucked out. But we had fun. It was funny down there. Not to go for too long about this, but it's just like all those houses are multi-million-dollar houses, and you either need 15 people that are down to throw a G in, or somebody's ultra rich.
Right.
And because we were on that wild horse beach, there's actual wildlife and stuff. So these people don't know, and it's like you see these giant driveways with just luxury class SUV after luxury class SUV and the occasional like Trump 2024 flag hanging from the balcony. And then there's just wild horses walking up people's driveways and just dropping horse piles like right in front of people's front door. And you see these people geeking out. And it's like, it's a little nugget of joy that goes on down there that I wouldn't have known about if I didn't see it. Just watch some like 70-year-old dad that's like thought he was going to have this relaxing vacation with a shovel scooping horse shit.
Scooping up horse shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know they shit too. I thought that was just
as close to the house. Yeah.
Good for them.
So it was a good time though. How was your week?
It was fine. I watched a lot of wrestling. I've been working.
Working
shits for the birds, bro.
Yeah, you're telling me, man. I've been hanging on at my job for months to vacation. Like just get to vacation. Whoo! Today was that first day back after vacation. You're like, what am I doing here, man? What is there to live for?
My life. You got a retirement fund? That's the new thing. You got a 401k?
Got a couple NFT. Yeah, I throw a couple bucks in there every 2 weeks, but
that's the new thing. I got to start working on that. I got 20 years in me. That's it. I think I can make it to 70. I think I can make it to 70.
I took you for the type that was just like, I'll hang out, grind, and then hit the Social Security.
Well, that's what I want to do, but my wife has opened my eyes to you need to get in a retirement fund. I'm like, yeah. I think she realizes I don't enjoy this as much as I used to. Staying up. Staying up. Bought the bar business. Till 2 a.m., 3 a.m. That ain't for me, man. I want to be in bed at 10:30. I want to be watching my local news.
And then up at 2 watching fucking.
Well,
what we talking about last week's cyber fight.
That's anxiety. Anxiety wakes me up at 2. At least I have a hobby that comes on live at 3 a.m. and I'm not watching fucking infomercials. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh man, I can't sleep. What am I going to do with myself? Oh, Cyber Fight Festival started. I'll watch this chaos. All right, should we talk about wrestling? Let's talk about wrestling.
Yeah, let's do it.
But that Vince McMahon. All right, so we're a little late to the game. This all went down last week. Vince, $3 million. Vince and good old Johnny Ace, John Laurinaitis, $3 million cover up. More importantly, I mean, this has probably been covered a million times. A couple more lawsuits investigating this. We got 3 lawsuits investigating this. Imagine there's some trading issues going on here, especially if he's using company money. So he's paid himself out a couple of times. So I don't know what this is. But the more bizarre aspect to this, and Brandon brought this up before we even went on, and this is the one I wanted to talk about. This motherfucker's on TV. Character Vince McMahon is on TV on SmackDown and Raw last night. People are cheering him. Yeah, I love Vince. He's the best. Yes, I fucking love it. They got 2 million people to watch Raw because Vince McMahon is going to be on. Brandon thoughts.
Exactly, right? It wouldn't be pro wrestling if he didn't take his own lawsuit as a pro wrestling angle and a reason to get ratings. It's the first thing that went through his head. I'm going on SmackDown this Friday, and fucking file 1 in the unforced error column for the WWE. Jeez Louise. He really didn't have anything to say, which is my favorite part about it, is that he just did it just to say, like, basically internally, I'm imagining, I'm not going anywhere. Whatever happened behind the scenes, that they forced him to step away, and his poor daughter that was trying to leave now has to take over. On paper, he comes out and he's like, what is it? Together forever now, then, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, give me a break.
Only part about that I enjoyed, though, was that they made sure they got a nice zoom in of a couple of losers, grown adult men that are on their feet clapping and cheering for him. Like, can you imagine? Oh, I bought the tickets. You know, that guy was like, I bought the tickets before I knew this was happening. I'm just go with my friends. No big deal. I don't fuck Vince. That's fucked up. And then you catch him 2 hours later at 8:02 p.m. and he's going, yeah. Oh, got ya.
What a fucking dork. So I had messaged you and, messaged the group text. This is fucking Super Brain Carney. That's what it is.
I got a big kick out of that. Yeah, that's Super Carney Brain right there.
Super Carney Brain. That's what it was. That's what it is. Fucking, this shit went down. He was like, oh, I know how to get a ratings bump. He's still writing the fucking show. So I don't think he's gone. Nobody listening think he's gone. He's still writing that show. He's just not, he's not COO or whatever his title was. He's still the boss.
The proof will be in the pudding. I mean, the show's been on for 30 years. You'll be able to tell pretty quickly whether he's involved or not.
Right. All of a sudden it'll get good.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only silver lining to this potentially would be somehow if he does have to step away and the show becomes decent again, maybe he'll fuck off for once and for all. But yeah, exactly. That old bastard isn't going anywhere. And the pride of Port Richmond, Johnny Ace, might be his latest scapegoat on.
Is that where he's from? No, he ain't.
Dude, I googled him because I was trying to see like how long he's been with them. And I think it says literally he's from Port Richmond, Philadelphia,
really?
Pennsylvania.
I had no idea. I gotta look this up.
Because he went to high school with my friend's dad, so we would always joke around with him about that. Yeah.
His spouse is Kathy Laurinaitis. He's from Philadelphia. He is the pride of Port Richmond. That's insane. That's my neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, hometown boy.
I'm surprised they don't have a fucking statue of him down here.
Yeah, they will now.
They got every other Polishman statues. Now they're gonna have, well, now they found out that he's doing what he's doing.
Once he gets canceled, the troops will rally up for him.
They're like, yo, oh my God, man. Okay, so I'm gonna go off topic a little bit. My wife is in the Port Richmond, Philadelphia, like Facebook group. I'm not on Facebook because it's a trash hole. And they were so mad about Juneteenth. I've never seen a bunch of racist ass white people. They are so racist that they are pissed about a day off from work. Oh my God. This neighborhood's fucking insane.
That's the only reason I still have Facebook is for the neighborhood Facebook group.
Because they're amazing.
I should try to join the Port Richmond one, just collect some highlights. Nobody checks if you're. It's not like you have to send a utility bill and just get in there and just see
join
the neighborhood by neighborhood drama.
My wife's in all of them. She was.
What's the take? What are they pissed about?
Because black people. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. That's legit. It. They're racist.
Stupid me for even asking.
My wife tells me everything. Like she thinks it's, she watches it like this is chaos, and I'm just like it's hilarious. Get reports on it because I'm not going to join. She's like. There was one woman that said she was ashamed to be born in June.
Oh, get fucked.
No, go fuck yourself. I can't believe it. They give black people 2 fucking holidays a year, and all of a sudden it's the end of the fucking world.
It's Pride Month, too. She's getting nailed.
Oh, man.
She's coming from all angles.
End the game! Let's move on. Real quick, TJP. Well, let's cover Kushida first. Okay, so Kushida came back this morning. I just so happened to had a feeling he'd be back, and I was waiting for my wife to get ready for work because I drive her in. And I was like, flipped on New Japan World. I get to watch the main event. Hiromu Takahashi taking the loss to Bullet Club dude, little Bullet Club guy, little Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay. And Kushida comes out, and you're expecting Ishimori to challenge El Desperado, who was on commentary. And Kushida's music hit. I saw that Chris Charlton, at some point, I popped on Twitter at like 7 this morning, and I saw that he said that it was a sellout. And I was like, the fucking fans over there know who's showing up. For sure. Sellout at Cork and Hall, it doesn't happen anymore. Kushida's back. We were fans when we were watching, Chris and I were really the ones that were watching NXT when he was doing the shoot shorts, the Sakuraba shorts,
yep.
And he was doing that whole thing. We were big fans, and I think it was just a matter of time before he left because there's no room for tiny people in WWE these days. But I got to tell you, I'm pretty fucking excited. Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I saw he's staying in the U.S. though. He's moving into Los Angeles, and he's gonna make that flight a little easier on himself. So I'm assuming you'll see him on a lot of the New Japan U.S. tours. It's definitely a name that'll move the needle because I think they came around a couple months ago and even bothered. Like there wasn't even a conversation of like, should we go? Because
there was nobody there.
It's just nobody, right? Yeah. So that's a needle mover in that sense. That I'm excited about, and two, just one of their most fun guys to watch. You want to see a dude go absolutely bananas in a pair of jeans? That's your man.
Jean shorts attack. He came out, same music, had a different look though. A little bit different. He had a black shirt on. His black shirt was a map of the world because he's world traveled now, I guess.
Okay.
So I'm curious if he's going to stick with the same time splitters thing. Probably for now. I could see him in Suzuki-gun. We'll see what happens. I hope he doesn't go fucking Bullet Club. So there's so many people in Bullet Club right now. Or I would think he's saying he's going to stay a good guy. So I don't know.
I would think he's 40 years old, around there, plus or minus 1 or 2. You're probably not signing that new deal and saying you want to stay there for the rest of your life if you want to do the same shit you used to do.
Right.
I don't know. Fingers crossed that that we get another act here.
That was his argument to leave, was that he was kind of hit a ceiling and he wanted to move on. And he did. Then he hit another ceiling. And that ceiling is at 5'8". You can't do anything unless you're higher than that. All right, let's talk real quick. I want to talk about this TJPW show real quick, just because there's a bunch of people involved in AEW that are going to be involved. So coming up, it's in July, I believe. I have to kind of decipher because this fucking website I can't find a list
We're going off the top here. The
We're
internet
going
is
off,
down.
yeah, we're trying to figure this out. So we are getting Mia Watanabe versus Willow Nightingale is going over, which is good. It should be a power matchup. Should beat the shit out of each other. It should be. That says it right there on the list. Good power matchup. Thank you for your commentary. Hikaru Shida is going to be going up against. She's going to be in a tag team match. Maki Ito is going to be defending her international championship against a woman named Alex Windsor, I believe is her name. She's from Pro Wrestling Eve in Britain. I have no idea. Riho, she'll be wrestling. Mei Suruga is going to be on the show. We get Thunder Rosa versus Miyu Yamashita. It's a pretty big one for over here. Brandon, thoughts?
Well, first of all,
this is a juicy fucking card. This card should be one of those, like, if you like women's wrestling, this should be a good one. Good.
Which we do. First of all, right up the jump, Willow. I'm glad to see TJPW picking up on that jump, kind of cutting the line a little bit as far as they're concerned, and then getting right on their card. So we're big fans of her. Even take a road trip every once in a while to catch her.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for that. Yeah, Hikaru Shida, Rio. Can't go wrong with those fucking two. And then Thunder Rosa. Who's she going against? You said
Miyu Yamashita. Miyu Yamashita, who was, if you remember, she's the pink girl, the girl who wears the pink with the kicks. She used to be the champ of TJPW. She did AEW Dark, and she had two appearances on AEW Dark. She came over on a U.S. tour, did the East Coast. She did a show on the West Coast, did a show on the East Coast, and then she did 2 shows of Dark. She went back and she promised she'd be back. She's going to do a tour with AEW. I think it was kind of test the water and see how it would be over here. But that should be fucking killer. I hope Thunder Rosa shows the fuck up for this one. Go ahead.
Yeah, we could get to that a little bit later if we cover AEW. But yeah, I'm excited to see some of these girls. It doesn't apply as much today with the AEW women's division. I think they have some depth now, but oftentimes felt like they're getting a little bit held back, some of their stronger performers, and I haven't watched them wrestle outside of AEW, so I'm excited just for that, to see a Thunder Rosa go against a higher caliber of talent. Shida, I've seen a couple of her things, but it sounds like it's going to be pretty loaded.
Yeah, it's exciting. We're going to complain in full length about the AEW's women division in a couple of minutes, actually. How do you want to do this? You want to talk about some Dynamite stuff and Rampage and then talk about the big pay-per-view this weekend? How do you want to do it?
Perfect. Yeah, I think that's the way to do it.
Were you able to catch Dynamite and Rampage?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Rampage was kind of...
when I say yes to Rampage, that's an in and out. I take a look, speed through.
I sleep through that shit. The only match I watched was probably... Willow Nightingale versus the Giant Lady.
Cargill, yeah.
Cargill. This is why we need you, Brandon. I can't remember anybody's name.
Yeah.
Let's start off with the Jericho versus Ortiz hair match. A little disappointing in this one. I mean, anytime Sammy Guevara suddenly gets thrust into a fucking feud, you're kind of like, oh, come on with this guy. Get out of here. Go ahead, thoughts.
Yeah, Chris was on that bald spot angle. I think I was 2-1, the only one in the camp that wasn't happening. So, Team Fozzy, guy's still a rock and roller. Can't go carry. He's not going Kerry King on him just yet. As soon as you see, the match was okay. We get the interference towards the end. We see Fuego del Sol, which didn't make any sense. So what's coming here? And Sammy Guevara, I guess, is too hot in one way or another with that small crowd that he's not going to be off TV for long. So he's back in Yaz. And, who the fuck really cares? I trying to give the guy like a chance if he can find the right spot here. I don't want to see him make out on TV. We get that again during this. Ortiz is getting his hair cut by himself, and that blood's coming. If you've ever seen one hair versus hair match in wrestling, it's like you guys got to start diving in there with the clippers.
Yep.
Because everybody's hair is soaking wet. So good for Ortiz on that one. Then we get a little. This is right when Moxley and Tanahashi come in, right?
No, that's a little bit later. But we can talk about it. Okay, so Mox comes out. He does the promo with Tanahashi, first time on U.S. television. Jericho interrupts. Tanahashi tells him to shut up. I don't know. This didn't do it for me. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. He did make there's a lot of Jericho that last Wednesday, so it starts to bleed together. But I was wondering, the only thing I wanted to bring up about this was Tana. I don't feel compelled to explain to him how big of a deal he is to you, me, or your brother. I'm not sure that that's coming across in any of this, and I'm curious what your thoughts are. I guess in the sense that my gut is just like, well, I don't fucking care. No one should need to Tanahashi explain to them. Get into it if you want to. Don't if you don't. The match will be awesome. That'll do it for itself. But I am a little bit surprised that someone that in my mind is one of the biggest deals that's active in pro wrestling is taking that flight, coming over here, and they're not really giving him his due. I think people that didn't know who he was beforehand wouldn't think of him any differently than they were thinking of Suzuki or Ishii or the other couple guys they had come out.
That's a good point. I mean, we'll talk about it when we get to the main card, but for anybody listening that doesn't know who Hiroshi Tanahashi is, to explain, it's hard to explain without having seen him for years and years and years. It's easy for me as a fan that I've seen him for years and to say that he is up there with the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. And I'm not talking about greatest professional wrestlers as in, fucking John Cena, the guys that are making all the money with WWE. I'm talking about greatest performers, able to express emotion, able to breach language barrier that have ever been there. I'm not being over the top by saying this. Sure, he's a little bit older now. His hips don't move so great. He's still able to put fucking amazing matches on. He's still been able to do it for years now. We've been saying this for years that, man, his hips, man, he's not Matt fucking Hardy out there. Matt Hardy cannot move. Hiroshi Tanahashi, when he needs to, can put on amazing matches. And it just seems like he's another guy. Like you said, he's just a dude that came over. Another one of these Japanese guys. Kenny Omega loves Japanese people. He's just bringing all the Kenny. Yeah. So that's what he comes across as here. And I don't get the feeling that he seems special, and he should. Him just showing up is not enough. They should have been, and I get it. There's differences in schedule and the way Tanahashi and the way New Japan Pro Wrestling books their shows. They got to wait to the last minute. They don't fucking reveal anything because they want you to go pay attention. They want you to go to the house shows because the house show shit goes down. But I just have a feeling that Hiroshi Tanahashi, this should have been built up for months. Don't just show up for fucking 3 weeks and be like, hey, which we're learning, which we didn't realize, AEW fans and New Japan fans are not simpatico. They are not working. They're not the same. This is a different animal. They don't watch. There are people that don't watch WWE anymore. There are people that did watch Ring of Honor, that do not watch WWE and have gone for an alternative. This does not necessarily make them fans of other wrestling. And we're learning the hard way because I have a feeling that people are not putting enough energy into the fact that Hiroshi Tanahashi is here. The company AEW isn't doing it. The fan base doesn't. I mean, maybe they are. I'm not around them enough. The only fans that I know of AEW know who Hiroshi Tanahashi is. This is a big fucking deal. This is like if Macho Man Randy Savage showed the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, this is a big deal. Like Macho Man Randy Savage when he first showed up in WCW. Like, this is a big fucking deal. This is a big deal to people that enjoy professional wrestling. Yeah,
that's their. I mean, you jump in here quickly, but that's their guy, right? Like that. As far as if you're going to be New Japan if you're going to be New Japan and say who's our fucking number one thing that we would push to American TV, that's our queen on the chessboard. We'll kick it over to you. That's him.
And he's also a guy that can come over, and now being in his 40s, he could come over, put on an amazing match. He could lose the match, which he's going to lose. He's going to lose to Jon Moxley. It doesn't affect him at all. Okada cannot lose to anyone. Even the only guys he's losing to are New Japan guys. He is not laying down for anybody on the AEW roster. Absolutely fucking not.
He's not.
Okada is if he's the king, if Hiroshi Tanahashi's the queen, he's the king. He is completely protected. He's got an entire board of people to protect him from losing. Hiroshi Tanahashi is the guy that can lay down for the pin and not look bad. He's still going to look amazing.
Yeah, it made me a little bit sad when he came out and he rips his shirt off and he gets up there and they're just the lack of reaction is AEW's fault, and I think it's just not going to play well in the long run of this relationship to have that moment go down the way that it did. Because if you're not landing at that point, how much does this relationship have to offer? And it's not like Tony Khan's not aware. They Mr. Cool's promo 2 weeks ago, he was like, "You guys pretend like you watch New Japan. You don't watch New Japan." He referenced the fact that these people don't know shit about New Japan, so it's like you got to lean in a little bit here on the on the AEW side. Give them something to be excited about, because it's very easily. I mean, this is a pro wrestler, one of the few, if not the only one. There's probably a handful that I legitimately care about, like, and I have an actual emotional connection to as an adult. And it's like, this is one of the unfuck upable guys. You don't have to do too much to get him over, and they're managing it. It's not that they got there. It's not that they didn't get him over, but it was just weird that he got on and it's just dead silence.
I don't know. You know what else I think's bizarre? I understand Tanahashi can't really speak English. Just give him some fucking. Who cares? He's going to get over. Let him speak Japanese. He's going to show his emotion. Like, the guy looks spectacular still. He's 40, late 40s. He looks spectacular. He'd still fucking work, dude. He's a pro wrestler. He knows what he's doing. We'll bring him in and make him work heel. He'll work heel. I've seen him work heel. He's fucking awesome. He can work heel.
You know who dominated with that? Penta. They just did it last week with Penta, where he cut a promo in Spanish. They had to, they had Abrahantes translate what he said to it, but that wasn't even the cool part. The cool part was just him yelling in Spanish. That is as over as anybody that can get in AEW without a title.
Right.
It works. It plays. So we'll see.
We're going to talk about this when we get to the pay-per-view. I don't want to beat it to death, because we're going to beat it to death in a couple of minutes.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. But it was a segment.
Yeah. Ospreay and Dax Harwood. Dax Harwood, pretty damn good wrestler. I really liked how Ospreay oversold that chop, so Dax Harwood really slapped the living shit out of him the second time, which was really good. Ospreay, for all his fucking problems, he is a damn good wrestler, and he's fun to watch. And he's, in particular, very fun to watch get beat up, even though he gets the win. Go ahead, thoughts?
Yeah, this was fun, Joe. I was hoping you went to this because it's juxtaposed against what we were just talking about. Ospreay is the guy to sell that Forbidden Door pay-per-view for them. That was their main event. That's what their crowd likes. They see him for a brief period of time, and they're going to go, "Oh shit, this guy is interesting." Fucking Scott Harwood or
no problem.
Dax
Harwood. Dax Harwood.
Got me jammed up now. I'm like, what is this?
Dax Harwood.
That was the words, not to go off topic. The word stamina.
Yeah.
Somebody kept saying stamina, and I'm like, my brain short circuits, and I'm like, is it fucking stamina or is it stamina? That's how I am with this Dax Harwood now. I'm like, dude, stamina does sound right, but yeah, I mean, the guy's a great wrestler. His singles run is notable at this point. He's carrying a lot of weight for AEW, and this match did make me think, as much as we make fun of the Billy the Bird man, the random shit that's happening on AEW lately, it's like, I wouldn't say must-watch TV, but it's keeping me interested.
It's fucking bizarre is what it is. It's like this weird universe the universes are colliding, and we got Will Ospreay out there. You got Tanahashi talking. You got fucking Tony Storm's out there kicking the fucking piss out of that sandbag of a pro wrestler. Let's move on.
It's like the pro wrestling world's like clubhouse. It's just like, who's here this week? Somebody's checked in. Oh, hey, how you been? Get going out there. See what's going on. There's not a ton of plot that they hook with the factions, which we make fun of all the time. But I'm like, there are some crazy matches going on. I'm watching fucking Neville from 205 Live fight Malachi Black next week.
All right, so Tony Storm versus Britt Baker. I don't know why it was just a match that happened because they're mad at each other. Fucking dude. All right. I'm done pretending. Britt Baker fucking stinks. That woman fucking stinks out there. Thoughts?
I'll be brief here, but I want to let you go. But yeah, pretty much everything about this match was subpar. The motives of anyone didn't make any sense. Thunder Rosa at the end, running in, trying to break it up to defend. Like, so now she's facing what, Toni Storm now?
Yeah, Toni Storm.
I don't know why. Like, wouldn't you want Britt Baker to win? So you're facing her. They announced that at Forbidden Door. She's like wants Britt Baker to lose. I don't know why. Britt Baker's lagging all over the place to the point where when that pile driver finisher finally got hit and she went completely limp, I was like, for a second or two, I was like, did she just break her fucking neck?
Let's be honest here. When she took that hip check to the corner, first of all, she's not protecting herself. She's not putting her fucking hands up at all in this match. She takes that hip check to the corner. She got fucking her bell rung. They played it into the story, which is a good move on their part. But man, she was fucking out of it.
Yep.
You could tell she was out of it. Anybody that's watched any kind of real fight knows that she was struggling there.
Out on her feet. Yep.
Yeah, or on her ass. You got to put your fucking hands up there, man. That's a fucking full body. That's a big hiney coming your way. She didn't do it. She was fucking terrible in this match. I am sick and tired of pretending. I have been the biggest Britt Baker fucking supporter. Maybe not the biggest. I've been up there. She stinks, man. I'm over it. I want nothing but bad things to happen to her. I want her to disappear. Let me give you an example. Hold on. So she's part-time. That's what she said. She's part-time, right? She wrestles sometimes. Sometimes she's a dentist.
It looks full-time on TV.
It looks like it. She's always a dentist. She has not improved in 3. We were just talking about last week, Chris and I, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, how good fucking Velvet Cake is. How fucking good she is now. She put the work in. 6 months. She's been way better. There's a woman in Stardom. Her name's Mai Sakurai. She used to be in a company called Actress Girls. So it was part-time work. She signed with Stardom. She stunk. She was still doing model work. She eventually, after she gets fulfilled her contract, she says, I'm going to work full-time now. I'm here full-time. I'm going to work my best, become the best professional wrestler I am. She's good now. Is she great? No. She's better, way better. She is improved. We have watched Britt Baker become progressively worse in the ring. Slower and doesn't protect herself. I am over it. And her promos are getting boring. This lady's got to go either take a walk or go full-time, man, because it's not fun. Everybody's lapping her. We're all lapping her now.
It's the gas tank, too. She's got
no
fizzles out pretty quickly.
She's slow as fuck. She's out of position. I'm over it. Sick and tired of fucking complaining about her.
Yeah, we don't have to go on too much, but I was like looking at her legs after that pile driver, and I was like, that didn't look very clean at all. Because the other girl's tired too, and she takes that pin like she broke her neck and just flops in the ring, and I was like, oh boy. So no fun.
Backstage, and I'm sure they have very intensive fucking concussion protocol back there.
She's gonna be drilling into somebody's jaw tomorrow morning.
I got a call out of work again.
I would hate to be the Thursday at 9 root canal with Dr. Baker.
She's huffing on laughing gas to make
her ears are going.
I don't feel so dizzy anymore. She's Steve Martin in a Little Shop of Horrors. Miro versus I don't want. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said, what are we pulling out your two fronts? God.
I don't want to do match by match. Miro came back against Ethan Page. This match is entirely too long. You can give thoughts at the end here. The Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express. It became it was supposed to be a triple threat, but Hardy's with their issues. And I mean, it was fun. It's nothing we haven't seen before, though. So that's the problem. Brandon, thoughts on these things?
Yeah, Miro, he's going to be the Atlantic champion, whatever this new belt is, I suppose, is like their Intercontinental. Excited to see him back. Match was too long. And I guess the Young Bucks being their first ever two-time tag team champions is their version of equity in the company, which we now know that they don't have.
Right.
Instead of ownership, we'll carve another, we'll engrave another little gold plate for you, screw it onto the halls of fame here at AEW that we're slowly building.
And Rampage was pretty bad. Historic lows in viewership, and deservedly so. This is definitely, it's, you know what it is? It's AEW dark plus. We got, we have Elevation, we got AEW Dark, and then we got this AEW Dark Rampage. 200,000 people are watching the show now.
It's the same format usually, where it's like they'll lead it off with a big name against someone that is going to lose. I usually don't like to watch those matches because it makes me get tired of pro wrestling, because if I watch the big name too much, it doesn't feel like a big deal when he's out there. Right. This week it was Jon Moxley against Dante Martin. I don't want to see Jon Moxley Wednesday and Friday, or when I'm looking forward to Jon Moxley at Forbidden Door, I'm like, I just watched this guy for 90 minutes the last 2 weeks. I'm not excited. Oh my God, he's finally wrestling. He just did for 20 fucking minutes on Friday. So I kind of breeze through those things, and then you go full, like you said, AEW Dark. I did think that I stopped for the Max Caster rap,
right,
and got sucked into that little thing, and I was like, this is it was the right line of crap versus like decent enough that I'll keep watching. For
right.
AEW Dark, I was like, I actually like, you got me in here a little bit. This is so goofy. Billy Gunn's wheeling out Anthony Bowens in a wheelchair.
I do enjoy that. Somehow the Gun Club are pretty good now, once they put them together with the Acclaimed. I'm enjoying it.
Like it's like it's the 4 quarters ended up $1 there for them one time.
I just spit all over the place. Sorry, viewers. And I mentioned Jade Cargill versus Willow Nightingale. Pretty good match. But generally, Rampage is not must-watch TV. Dynamite's fun. Rampage, not great. Good.
The only thing I was going to say about that Willow Nightingale match, and I hesitated during the TJPW segment, was that, especially towards the end there, Willow looked a little bit like in control of the work that was happening.
Right.
Which isn't a great sign when somebody's under 10th AEW match and the other one's 50-0 or whatever.
Right.
Whatever she is, which I don't care about it. You can do whatever the hell you want, but I did think that was interesting, where at the end you see Willow like pausing with her arm up, like, go ahead, take over now. You're gonna sweep me up here in 30 seconds and win the match.
On the match. Like, oh, boy. Yeah. This girl that I just saw at the Weyerbacher Brewing is calling a match with one of the bigger stars in AEW. Amazing.
Exactly.
This is where we're at. This is what we watch every week.
Doing.
All right. So this weekend,
this 100,000 other people, whoever was watching it.
Right. Okay. This is where we're at now. AEW X New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door. Been hyped up for a month. Not great builds, but let's talk about this shit. First match. Oh, wait. Do we have anything? No. Right into it. First match. 3-way winner takes all tag team match for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships and the IWGP Tag Team Championship. The Bucks are not on this card as of this week. We do have 2 more shows to go, but they're not. There's 6 matches. FTR, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, that's their names, who are the Ring of Honor champions, versus the United Empire, the Great O'Carney, Jeff Cobb, who are the IWGP champs, and the Pin Eaters, Roppongi Vice, Trent Beretta, and Rocky Romero. Brandon, thoughts?
This is the one that it's probably a coin flip for me. I think you look at it on paper and you're like, oh, this is FTR's belt collecting here for the resume. However, one of these belts has to go back to Japan, or this would just be an embarrassing event for them on all fronts, the way Tanahashi's build has been, and a lot of these other builds. And Dax Harwood all of a sudden emerging as like a single superstar here week after week. This could go Jeff Cobb and my boy, the fucking fantastic Carney. So I don't know. I think 99% of people are going to be like, oh, this is FDR, take another one. I'm not surprised if that's what happens, but I would like to see Jeff and the Carney go here.
Yeah, I think we're getting United Empire. Then they can just be like, Ring of Honor stinks, and then get rid of the Ring of Honor title, I guess. I don't know. Meld them together into one belt.
Sell them to Stardom. They sand those plates down and get some belts.
Just as winner on it.
Yeah.
Singles match for the AEW Women's World Championship. Thunder Rosa, the champion, versus Tony Storm. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Thunder Rosa, I talked about, hey, she didn't stumble out of the gates there with her first match at the pay-per-view that I'm blanking on the name of, Double or Nothing. And it seems like we're coming around the first turn now. They have indeed stumbled, and they're in a rocky place with Thunder Rosa. She's complaining about not being on TV. She goes on TV, shits the bed a little bit, but sloppy match. Yeah, a little turd on the carpet on the way to the toilet there. So we'll see, man. Maybe Tony Storm takes us. She seems hot right now.
Like there is, I don't know. You got Thunder Rosa going over
Thunderstorm.
Thunderstorm.
This is going to be a thunderstorm.
Thunderstorm versus Tony Rosa. That's when people hit when she hit Tony Storm hits people with that giant ass. It's a thunderstorm. She's going over to TJPW, so I guess as the champ, she's not going to lose. Tony Storm might be going. Yeah, Tony Storm might be going to Stardom for the tour. I guess Thunder Rosa wins. I mean, are we going to have
anything in TJPW though? They're like,
I mean, I guess Yamashita can take a loss. I guess they can do it.
I just mean like I don't think a TJPW fan is going to be like, so he's not the champ anymore. This match is less compelling than it was 2 weeks ago.
I follow some people that are Japanese fans of TJPW and stuff, and they are not stoked on Thunder Rosa. They're saying it's not a good matchup for Yamashita. They're like she's not that good. So there you go. That's word on the street on Twitter. I mean, it might be a vocal minority, but curious.
Yeah, I'm curious too. Maybe it's like I've just watched enough AEW women's wrestling that I've convinced myself that she rocks, and then
then you watch last week.
If you're consuming that all the time, and
last week's poop match. There are some glaring names that aren't on this, and we'll talk about them at the end. How about this? Singles match for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship. Will Ospreay, the champion, is defending against Orange Cassidy. Now, Andrade has gone on Twitter and said the reason why he can't perform in this is because of New Japan's agreement with CMLL in Mexico. CMLL and AAA are not friends. And they are not very nice to each other. So honestly, I don't see why New Japan would give a fuck. Like, honestly, do you really have that great of a relationship with CMLL? But Orange Cassidy's who we get against Will Ospreay. Got thoughts?
Yeah, this is the handshake, right? Of the pay-per-view here. I think Will Ospreay's winning this one. This reminds me though of Tony Khan's, like, if you ever like traded baseball cards as a kid, there's like that kid that's like, yeah, I'll take your Mike Schmidt rookie card for this random Mark McGuire.
That happened to me.
Thing that nobody cares about. It's like that. This is the deal that Tony Khan offered, and it seems like New Japan accepted. We're like, well, we'll put Will Ospreay over if we can nuke Tanahashi and win everything else. So,
yeah, it should be fun. I mean, Orange Cassidy's fun to watch. I mean, I guess it should be fun. I don't know.
That happened. It would be fun for them. And when I say them, I mean the people that are AEW buyers that are going to try to get into New Japan Wrestling. This is like what they want to see. I'm not into Ospreay. We don't have to get into that. I know you're not either. But that's what this is. I think if Will Ospreay was in AEW, they would fucking love him.
Yeah, they'd be coming all over the place.
Let me hear about this bad card deal, though. You got jacked up?
Oh, yeah. I got a fucking Cal Ripken rookie, bro.
Oh, yeah. I think you actually told me about this.
Yeah. I got fucking NFT'd, bro. 6-man tag match.
Welcome to the club.
6-man tag match. Les Sex Gods, Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki with Ty Conti.
I would consider him a sex god.
Versus Eddie Kingston, Wheeler Yuta, and Shota Umino. First of all, we didn't mention it during the beatdown. Tanahashi beatdown. El Desperado comes out. He didn't show up on anything else. I don't know if he was on Dark or Dark Elevation. Also, he couldn't get home on his plane. He was stuck in the United States. He ended up being here for like 3 days. They sent his bags to Dallas. He couldn't get the fuck home.
Oh, geez, Louise.
So there you go. I don't think he'll ever be back. But
what a trip. Wow, we like 5 out of these 6 guys, right? And the fact that this match was so forced upon us actually makes me a bit interested in it because I'm imagine this looks like the like goofy chaos spot. And that's usually what we walk away from these and enjoying the most. So I like Shota Amino. Wheeler Yuta's growing on us week by week. Eddie Kingston can't beat at this point. So hopefully Sammy Guevara stays out of their fucking hair for a little while.
Yeah. Hopefully he gets hurt. No, I don't want to say that. 4-way match.
Wait, you need Chris to come in and be like, hopefully he breaks his fucking neck.
Right. Wait, this is a 4-way match? Okay, so we get Pac versus Miro versus the winner of Malachi Black or Penta Obscuro. Well, it ain't going to be Penta because Penta's AAA too. So it's a Malachi Black. So he's out of this. He's not going to be on this card either. So we got Pac versus Miro versus Malachi Black versus the winner of the New Japan tournament, which included Tomoyaki Hanma. That's how important New Japan thought this was Tomohiro Ishii. So he's their 4th man is Tomohiro Ishii. Go ahead, Brandon.
Okay. Either way, I'm sure they're going to send the fucking Outer Banks title home with Tomohiro Ishii to go defend in Japan. This is Miro giving him something to do, right?
Right. Yeah, that's got to be Miro. I'm into this.
The Atlantic title. What the fuck?
It's so weird. We talked about it, man. They on the ad they had a fucking Chinese flag. Yet they call it the All Atlantic. Like, what the fuck? What map you looking at, Tony? I know you're based in Tampa, but what the fuck are you looking at?
Good Lord, man.
Oh my God, this fucking company. Singles match for the interim AEW World Championship. Jon Moxley beats Hiroshi Tanahashi. Brandon,
thoughts. This will be fun. That's pretty much my only thought. I'm not going to think too deeply into this. I don't want to have any theories going in. We know how it's ending. Just enjoy these two going to work together. I got to say, as we wrap this up, though, and we can go back to this match, but this feels like you or I or Tony Khan got drunk and just got on the phone with New Japan and like sorted out what a card would look like in 25 minutes.
Yeah, like it was 4 a.m. and just like, hey, I got this great idea. We're gonna put Eddie Kingston with Wheeler Yuta and Shota Umino. Just stick Minoru Suzuki with the Sex Gods. Yeah, that sounds good. That's good. Orange Cassidy. Just bring Orange Cassidy on, man. He's really fun. You'll love him.
They were him and Jericho were hanging out late, and he's like, you know what? Why don't you come get an Uber back to my mansion with me? I gotta take a call with New Japan at 3. At 3, you want to just stay up with me and do it? At this point, I'm not going to bed. It's already 11:30. It's like, yeah. I'm good with those guys. Yeah,
it's already 11:30
over there. Yeah. And they sat there and took shots at Grey Goose and eventually got on the phone, and this is what they hashed out. That's what it looks like.
Okay, so notable. Yeah, I also agree. I think the match is going to be fun, but we know what the outcome is. Notable absences. Jay White came out. He did a promo on the Cowboyman. Mind you, we still have 2 shows left, so they're going to announce some more. He comes out. He does a promo on the Cowboyman. Oh, no, other way around. Okay, Cowboyman does a promo. Adam Cole comes down on the ramp. Jay White attacks him from behind. Jay White says, fuck you. You're not fucking wrestling me. You want to fight Okada? Go ahead, fight Okada, but I'm the champ. I'm the one who selects who to wrestle. Adam Cole's like, yeah, man, we'll wrestle. And he's like, it's not you either. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. Also, Okada supposedly is not going to be at this card. He's expecting a baby. He's doing he was online wearing women's school gear, like a girl's school uniform. So he's a little busy. He might not be here. We're gonna find out this week. Who the fuck is Jay White gonna wrestle if he's not gonna? We got no Adam Cole on this card. We've got no Jay White. He says he'll be on the card, but he hasn't announced who he's gonna wrestle yet. And no Cowboy yet. Go ahead. Muteman.
That's like the last shoe to drop, huh? It's like Jay White. I think it'll make him look too poor too soon if he demands that he's not facing Adam Cole and page and then they end up in the match, I have a feeling they'll be involved somehow. So who would be related to this that they're going to plug in here?
Kenny Omega. That's my guess.
That's a good one. Yeah.
He's been out. I think that this week he'll say that he's the only person he'll wrestle is Kenny Omega. He's the only one worthy of wrestling him. Not everybody's going to fit on this fucking card. This is a New Japan card too. New Japan does not do 5-hour cards. They do 3. They do 3 hours. That's it.
Well, they do. They do
3.5 hours.
1 2-day behemoth.
Yeah,
that takes 15 hours at this point. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, as I look at this and I'm like, it's missing the punch, the overhand right. I think that's going to be Jay White Omega. All of a sudden out of nowhere, that's going to drive the views up here because they're tiptoeing on the line right now of like this being a dud. Now
I am looking. If I look at this card, not to interrupt you, if I look at this card, it's a fucking dud. This card does not interest me at all. Do I want to see Jon Moxley versus Hiroshi Tanahashi? I was going to see it in Japan eventually anyway. This is a turd. This match. This card. It really is.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, there's nothing on here that makes me say like, oh yeah, I want to spend $50 on this, or that I'm going to run out of the Pokemon party and run to the Chris's house to watch it. So I think that I don't think New Japan gives a shit, honestly, when it comes to this card. They're like, okay, yeah, sure, we'll give you Tanahashi. It's your show. This does not look great.
You always have this perspective with New Japan that they're like a little bit lackadaisical or uninterested in the American audience. I just, from my probably finance life, I'm like, everybody at the top gives a shit when it comes to potential customers. That's the only thing every business talks about all the time. How do we get more people in the funnel? So I do think that they give a shit.
Oh, I definitely think they give a shit. I don't think they give a shit about this show. I think they're more interested. I think they're more interested in expanding their brand in the United States. Like, this show's fine. They already sold it out. If they can get a couple people to watch, they'll be happy about it. You know what I mean?
In my head, I'm like, the sellout doesn't mean that much. AEW sells out the United Center to watch Tweedledee and Tweedledum have a ladder match.
Right.
They want like pay-per-view buys. They want to see if this moves the needle at all. And if this goes too far in the other direction, it probably won't ever damage a relationship, because what the hell else are these people going to do 6 months from now than to push their business? This is the only idea. But I think everybody's incentivized here to lean in. So
it's just everything about this card seems like it doesn't matter. Nothing on this card matters. It really doesn't.
You wonder, like, if
like all the championships besides the tag championship. If I look at this card, that's the only thing that could possibly that. It's like, oh, well, I'm not really sure who's going to win this. Everything else is like, it's there. And who cares about the All Atlantic Championship? Whatever. Go ahead.
Right. Nobody cares about that. If you go through these matches real quickly and you're like, hey, I might be interested in New Japan if somebody piques my interest here. Jeff Cobb and Great Khan, they're not going to do that for you. 2 AEW women, Will Ospreay, that's their punch we talked about earlier. Right. Suzuki we've seen before, probably not going to do that. Shota Umino, no.
Umino,
excuse me.
That's all right.
Ishii, no. Tanahashi, I think he will somewhat, but he's almost 50 years old. No one's going to join the product probably over that. So there's got to be one coming over the top here.
Yeah, I mean, Jay White's going to be on the show. He said he's going to be on the show. We just don't know who he's going to wrestle. And if we're going to do a main event, we have Jon Moxley as the main, right now as the main event. I think we're getting Kenny Omega. I think he's ready to go. He's just been holding out.
What if it's like Kyle O'Reilly?
I assume we're going to have some pre-show matches, so we'll have some of that stuff, because there's a lot of people that are missing. There's no Britt Baker. How could she not be on one of the AEW TV shows? She's got to be on it. I don't know. This is interesting, and we're going to find out tomorrow what it is.
It's Jay White versus Jeff Hardy. I'm looking at their power rankings now. Wardlow's number 2.
Yeah, Wardlow's not on
Jay
the card.
Lethal's number 5.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, if it's not coming out of this pool of like contenders, who they view as their top guys, it's gotta be. What about Danielson?
Danielson he's making an announcement tomorrow. Zack Sabre Jr. called him out. I was kind of hoping for a Suzuki-gun versus Blackpool Combat Club, but it looks like we're not getting that.
Yeah,
so that's a possibility. I don't know. It might be a tag match too.
So he's gonna end up with ZSJ somewhere. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, ZSJ called him out, but now Danielson he's got his intentions. He's got to state his intentions on Wednesday. Could be that he's injured. Might be like, oh, I'm still banged up.
Maybe that, or they throw him on here. Is there any? You don't think there's? I haven't.
No, I think there's. I honestly have no fucking idea. We are definitely getting Jay White, but they haven't told us anything. There's nothing right now. Looking at this card, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to go out of my way to watch it.
Yeah.
Like if it stays like this, I will not watch it, and I'll take you guys' word on it. I'll wait till it comes out on New Japan World in 2 weeks. We'll watch it,
and then we'll cover it.
Or you guys can cover it next week, and I'll just pretend.
You mean I got to drive over to Chris's house and watch this shit? He better be serving me some cheese on that cool Dude Love rolling tray he sent us earlier today. Chris is down in Charleston. He sent us a picture of this, like, just the classic head shop, like marijuana leaves.
Yeah.
This is how I roll with the tie dye in the back. He said, well, you better replace all your dinner plates with nice fat spliff on there. So
yeah, it's drug rugs.
Unless I'm coming home with a drug rug and a cool rolling tray, I'm not going over there for these 5.
Fuck that. He's gonna be real stoked to have people over after. I think he like pulls up to the house on Sunday. He's gonna be fucking exhausted.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be gassed. He's not gonna want us there after.
He's gonna be like, "Why the fuck did I say that?
How did I agree to this?" Yeah. So give me Jay White. Okada, I want Okada, but I don't know who the fuck is gonna wrestle. Cowboy shit.
Well, like you said, I think this is important to note that that's the king, that's the piece that they will not sacrifice under any circumstances. So until that's going to take a long time, I think, and it's going to take a lot of things to go right. And even when they go right, he's going to win the match.
Yeah, he's winning. He just lost the title. He's still winning. Jay White's winning whatever match he's in. He's not losing. So there's your balance.
Right.
So if you're looking at the card and be like, well, AEW wants to look strong and New Japan wants to look strong. There you go. There's your 2 guys. So I would imagine it's going to be Okada versus Cowboy shit. Hopefully not a triple threat with Adam Cole. And we're getting Jay White versus Omega. That's my guesses. We'll find out by the end of the week, won't we? Then I'll be excited. If that happens, then I'm fucking stoked and I'm on board.
Then the Pokemon can
Pokemon League is going to have to go on hold. I'll be running out of the Pokemon League.
We should just put it on I guess Chris wouldn't come over.
Put it on where?
Your place of work.
I got to pay for
it. We're paying for it wherever.
Yeah, but it doesn't work that way. It's a business account, so they count the heads. You pay a rate. We'd have to pirate it.
Yeah, well, back in the day, I remember bringing a MacBook Pro over and
that's right.
HDMI.
We watched fucking CM Punk fight. What fight did we watch?
It was a McGregor at UFC in New York. That was funny, man, dude. The bar was absolutely packed.
Yeah, it was. I remember the one time we were watching, and that one guy was like, "I'd rather get shot in the head with a crossbow than
with the bow and arrow than watch." Okay,
that guy's real cool.
Yeah, I asked Jimmy to put the UFC on. There was 3 people in the bar, and there's just one guy kind of talking Jimmy's ear off. And shortly after it came on, he was just looked me in the face and said he would rather take a bow and arrow to the brain than have to watch what I asked to watch. And it was just like, oh, well, thanks, buddy. Yeah, I would like to watch it. Would you, if you would mind?
Yeah, could you please leave me alone?
People rock. Does that guy ever come in there anymore?
No, he's gone. That guy stinks. He still sends me messages on Instagram. I don't respond. That guy fucking stinks.
King of the good times.
Mm-hmm. He's not.
Anyway, I did want to, as we're wrapping up here, closing thought, I would say, I want this to succeed. I think it would be the best thing for the three of us having to watch pro wrestling and do a podcast every week if this rocks and cooks into something much bigger.
Yes.
So, I'm truly rooting for it.
We watch AEW and we generally enjoy AEW. It's the best U.S. product there is. But I think we all really loved. Right now, maybe the product isn't the best, but New Japan Pro Wrestling, it's dragged a lot of people out of the fucking doldrums to watch pro wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's nothing AEW's offering that would get me in an Uber at 1 o'clock in the morning to stay up till 8 a.m. and watch a show.
Wrestle Kingdom, no way. Which we've done. Pulled pork in the snow. There you go.
All right.
So maybe I'll be over. I'll let you guys know on Sunday. It's going to be like a last minute decision, but no need to. Should we take a look at the AEW Dynamite card for this week?
Yeah.
Let's see what the fuck's going on. Dynamite this week, right? As everyone listens to me type. Here we go. No, that's not the one. Let's try Sports Kita. That's always a good one.
While Jimmy's looking that up, I will say I watched the episode that I was not in last week. I usually don't like to watch the stuff that I'm in.
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious. It had 5 views on YouTube. Go on YouTube, guys. This shit's funny. Check it out.
This is amazing. These fucking websites are great. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. Anime preview one day ago. Okay, this is prowrestling.net. This is a good one. Here we go.
Someone trying to get you to buy creatine or something in a pop-up.
Yeah. We got Milwaukee, Wisconsin. John Moxley and Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Chris Jericho and Lance Archer. I forgot Lance Archer got involved. Will Ospreay. I'll go through the card real quick. Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher, and Mark Davis. That's Aussie Open, not Australian Open, as Chris has got it. Aussie Open versus Orange Cassidy, Trent Beretta, and Rocky Romero. And Penta Obscuro versus Malachi Black for the All Atlantic Championship qualifying match. Go. They'll mention Jay White. Sure, we'll see him. And we're also getting a announcement by Brian Danielson. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, to me, that lack of information leads to exactly what we were just talking about. They're revealing almost nothing, and they're just going to try to catch everybody live on Wednesday, and hopefully they hold their attention until Sunday when it comes time to type in your credit card information here.
Right. We are definitely not getting Okada wrestling on AEW TV, though.
Get that out of your head. Yeah, I don't think he'll. I predict 2024.
Yeah,
you'll see him.
He might not even be at this pay-per-view.
That's going to take 18 months minimum of a successful relationship to get that going.
Yeah, he's bigger than anybody else. He's better than anybody else on this show. There's bigger stars because they were in WWE, but Okada he's the diamond.
You think that's like the apex of this relationship for the mutual fan is if you get an Omega Okada part 4 or whatever.
Even a face-off is a big deal. Them standing in the same ring is a big deal.
I think that would get me going.
Yeah.
As much as I hate hearing Kenny talk, now that I've heard him talk.
Guy's an amazing wrestler, though.
If they fired it up, I would be like, oh, boy.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get out of here, then. Thanks for joining us this week. Join us here every week at Wrestling is Hard. Also on Instagram and Twitter at Hard4 Wrestling. Subscribe and follow. Tell your friends. Go watch us on YouTube. Wrestling is Hard Productions. Apparently it's hilarious. I've only watched one episode. And for Brandon and Chris, who's hanging out in the fucking head shop, apparently. South Carolina.
He's in Spencer's Gifts.
He's in the tickle section with the stress squeezers and the tickle feathers.
Look at that black light posters and butt plugs.
Plugs and black light. That's a fucking way to live.
Chromies.
I'm Jim.
All right.
And we'll be back here next week.